Hey guys, my sister here with Notary to Notary, and this is going to be a nice, quick, short video for you as we start wrapping up our 2024 tax year. I want to just give you my top 5 things that I think you should be doing. This is what I'm doing at the end of the year to get ready to file taxes in January. Okay, so let's get started. My top 5 things for you to do as a notary business owner when it comes to tax season. Okay, so first, number one, I always say start off with your accounting software. So I use Notary Assist. I'll put a link in the description for you. I think it's one of the best softwares out there when it comes to managing all of your notary jobs, whether it's inspections, weddings, loan closings, general notary work, e-notary. It even has a really cool feature that allows you to be able to break up your per seal amount. And a lot of notaries don't know this, but this is why I'm really big on reading the IRS Tax Code. If you go to the IRS website, I'll put a link in the description to the actual code I'm referencing. As a notary, your per seal amount, which is found in your notary handbook, your per seal amount is actually not taxable by self-employment tax, which is roughly, don't quote me, 15% or what have you. If you are a sole proprietorship or a single member LLC, you will pay self-employment tax and income tax. Self-employment tax is 15%. So your per seal amount is not they're not going to charge you self-employment tax on your personal amount. So let's do an example. Let's say, for example, you conduct a loan closing for $100 and that had 5 seals in it. And let's say your personal amount for your state is $10. So $50 of that is not taxable by self-employment tax. Let's say you do a power of attorney and you charge $100. Your per seal of that 100, let's say it had 2 notarizations, is $20 is not taxable, 80 is. Now, don't get me wrong, the entire 100 is taxable by income tax, but not by self-employment tax. 97% of small businesses will overpay in taxes because you're doing everything else. Right, the first couple of years of your business, you will overpay, which means you are giving more money to the government, to the IRS, than they're due, or you're not getting as much money back as you were due when you start your business, because most entrepreneurs, they're worried about marketing and clients and sales and social media, and they don't have time, or they're not making time to actually learn tax code. So as a notary, I will tell you, my first 3 years in business, I didn't know about this code, and I overpaid in taxes because I didn't know that I was not responsible, my self-employment tax was not applicable to my per seal amount. Notary Assist allows you to break that up. I'll do a video on that soon. But if you go to Notary Assist's website, I'll put the link in the description. Sue, who owns Notary Assist, is amazing, and she will help you. She's the best. She's literally amazing. I actually started using Notary Assist before I even met her. I just really love the platform. So what you're gonna do is go through your accounting software, and you're gonna look for any accounts, any jobs that you have done that have not been paid. So as the year winds down, you want to make sure that you go ahead and send out any open invoices that are left. I have a template for an email you can send out when you're past due for funds from a company. It's very simple, very clean, very professional. You just insert your details to that appointment, copy, paste, send it out. You can also add it as a template into your Notary Assist, so you can just do it automatically whenever it hits that net 30 or net 45, whatever your terms are for those clients. But I make sure I do it at the end of the year, so I can try to make sure I get all the funds in that are due to me before the end of the year. And I don't wait till the last week of December to try to say, hey, I have a payment due from February or March or October that I missed. And so I like to do that in advance to make sure that I'm not waiting to the last minute trying to collect funds. Now, you're not going to be perfect at it, but I try to do my best to do that. So number one, go through your accounting software and make sure any outstanding payments have been paid, or you have started the process to reaching out to those clients to get that information updated. Number two, I added probably about 3 years ago, probably 3 to 4 years ago, regularly reviewing my bank statements for my business. So whether it's business credit cards, business checking accounts, savings accounts, regularly going through at least once a month, if not once a quarter, but definitely at the end of the year. What you want to go through, and I do this for the complete year. At the end of the year, I pull all 12 statements for all the accounts that we have. We run numbers, we look at everything. We go through line by line to make sure there was no purchases that were made that we don't know, or sometimes you know how you sign up for subscriptions and you're like, wait, what is this? What am I paying $5.99 for? I have no idea. It really is a thing. So I just go through and make sure everything looks the way it's supposed to. And I also review my numbers, just look at my analysis, see how, how I did for the year, which will go into one of the things we're going to talk about later, about profit and loss and trends throughout the year. But in order to have those trends, you got to have your numbers correct. So I look at my bank statements, make sure there's nothing on there that's incorrect, that's wrong, that needs to be canceled, that needs to be disputed, anything like that. I did actually recently have to change a card because someone did access one of my cards, and I had to go through the process of getting a whole new card, disputing a charge. And so the only reason why I found that out is because I review my accounts regularly, and I recommend everybody do that. Even for your personal accounts, definitely. I'd say once a month, but if that's too much, definitely at least once a quarter. Number 3, you want to make sure that you add in all of your expenses into your accounting software. So if you're going to be using QuickBooks, Notary Assist, whatever you choose to use, make sure you put all of your expenses into your software if you have not been doing it throughout the year. And you guys know I'm really big on maximizing your tax benefits, your tax deductions. So you should have been tracking the entire year. And I teach this how to do it in a very simple way. I'm not going to go into that right now. We have a class coming up on, I think it's the 23rd. It's next Saturday. If you're watching this on November 13th, it's next Saturday, where we're going to really break down taxes and business credit and a whole slew of things. I'll put the link to that in the description as well. But you really want to make sure that you're keeping track of anything that you're spending for your business. And there's actually more that you can write off besides that. It's like a whole different world that you can get into when it comes to taxes and businesses. So it's a lot to get into, but the main thing is you want to make sure you keep track of everything, every dollar that you put out for your business. Whether that's lunch meetings, whether that's memberships, supplies, insurances, LLCs, trainings, anything that you pay for that has anything to do with your business, you want to make sure you keep track of it and import it into your software that you're going to be using, because you're going to use that when we get into the next step, which is going to be running your report. So this is actually a mixed kind of step, because one, so if you don't have a CPA that you work with or an accountant that you work with, I don't think as a new business owner you need to pay for bookkeeping, like an actual bookkeeper to manage your monthly expenses if your income is not over $100,000. I just don't think that's going to be a wise investment right now. There's tons of tools you can use online that will do that for you for free or for low cost. However, when it comes time for tax time, as a business owner, I do think everyone should either invest into a CPA or a qualified accountant that can file their taxes, or if you're going to do it yourself, go to the IRS website. I'll put the link in the description. They have a page that's called IRS Small Business. I think it's IRS Small Business Toolkit. Well, IRS Small Business Tax Center. And there's so many resources completely free for you to understand what benefits are available, how to do the credits and deductions. Tons and it's loaded with tons of information for you for free when it comes to taxes. If you're going to file yourself, if you're like a TurboTax filer, which I did that the first couple of years of my business, if you're a TurboTax filer, then if you're going to do that, definitely go read the tax. You read it anyway. You need to know how you're going to be operating with the IRS. You have to know. You're not at the beck and will. You're not you guys are in an agreement. The IRS has a company. They're an agency. They have rules, regulations. You're a business. You have rules, regulations. Y'all need to work together. It's not just, the IRS taking my money. No. Do you even know what is happening? Do you even know, when you're filing forms, do you even know where it's going? Do you know, do you understand all the documents and what they're looking for, and how to avoid? Everyone always says, how do I avoid paying taxes? Well, the best way to avoid paying taxes is to actually learn what the taxes are, what credits you can take, what deductions you can take, what are the loopholes. For example, prime example, if you're a notary and you made $100,000, but you don't know there's a tax code that exists that you don't pay self-employment tax on your notary seal, your per seal amount, then you're overpaying in taxes because you're choosing to not know. The IRS is not going to come knock on your door and say, oh, listen, there's a code that you need. And if you file your return without it, they're not going to correct it. They're not going to correct it. They're just not going to. You have to know. You have to do your due diligence. So you definitely want to work with a CPA or an accountant that's going to help you. I will link mine, and he does all of our trainings when it comes to taxes nationwide across the country. His name is Derek Hall. He's also teaching with me. So next Saturday, it's going to be Derek Hall and Sue Hope of Notary Assist. We'll be doing that class. We're also going to talk about that BOI form everybody keeps talking about. We're going to give you the tea on that and what you can do, because it's not that deep. I'm going to help you with that. If you haven't heard about that, it's the one that they pass with all the fees if you don't file, and it's a whole situation. But I'm going to show you how to do this real quick and easy, and what it is, and break that down. So next weekend, we do have that Ready for Tax Season class. But definitely, you want to make sure that you're working with your CPA or your accountant or with yourself on the IRS website so you can be knowledgeable about what is going on and how to file those taxes correctly. Okay. Last thing I'm going to do is more like a bonus section. One thing I also do at the end of the year is I do any last minute grants that are available, because there are tons and tons of grants, especially at the end of the year. Especially if people haven't applied for the beginning of the year. So it's like the end of the year, they're going to close their budget. So I go for any last minute business grants that are available, whether that's through corporations. Definitely look on your city or county's economic development website, your state. They will usually have grants that close out at the end of the year. Anything that's coming at the end of the year, definitely check city, county, state, and then any like corporations, like small business grants. One thing that I do is I go on YouTube and you can just type in small business grants, put the month and the year. So just type in small business grants November 2024. And you'll see a slew of new videos that just came out that people have created for grants that are available now. And so I will do that at the end of the year, do any last minute grants, and just look into this, any credits or deductions that are coming out. This is also the time where they start releasing what's coming out for tax season next. When you start filing in January, that you should be aware of any credits or benefits or things like that that you should know that you can prepare for and discuss with your CPA. Super duper important. So as a recap, you definitely want to make sure you take that time. Yes, during the year we want to make tons of money. That is awesome. That's amazing. But how are we managing that money when it comes to time to file taxes? Are we knowledgeable about how we're working with the IRS? Are we knowledgeable about how we're working with our state? Are we taking advantage of the credits, of the grants, of the deductions that exist out there so that we can actually benefit from being a business owner, which is the whole idea behind it. So I hope this video helps you a lot. We do have the Tax Financial Management course, the complete course at notarytonotary.com. If you go there under training, we have that. And then, of course, next Saturday, we have Ready for Tax Season that will help you. I will also put a couple links in the description to some of the things that I mentioned that will help you, free resources. Also, I will link my CPA down there too, so you guys, when you have questions. Awesome. So those are my top 5 tips to get you rocking and rolling for tax season. I hope that you learned a lot. And until next time.